What's going on, everyone? Today we're here with the TRX4 Bronco and we're going to jump into our Air Ride install. For the first video on the custom TRX4 Bronco project, we're going to jump first into the installation of this ProAirRC Air Ride kit. Now, the reason I'm going to do this first is because this has a very large control module that includes things like the receiver for the remote, as well as its own air compressor and solenoids. Now, this Air Ride setup does independently control both the front and rear suspension, so there is a lot going on in that project box, but we're gonna have to find a place for it, and we're really gonna start to move some things around. I also have that Night Customs interior base handy so that I can make sure that wherever I do place it is going to fit with that interior base in place, because there is going to be a lot going on underneath this body. But with that said, let's go ahead, take this off, start jumping into the installation of this product. All right, so we've begun the initial teardown and kind of starting to mock up some of the components to this Air Ride kit. Now, this project box with the compressor and solenoids and things like that inside is large, and I was hoping I was going to be able to fit it in this front area here where, you know, like an additional battery or a separate battery could fit, but it's just not the right size, and I really have to start getting into cutting these inner fenders apart to get it to fit there. And while I could probably make some patch panels and you wouldn't even really be able to tell, I think what I'm going to do instead is do something a little bit different. And I'm actually going to remove the rear battery tray, and I'm not going to use that upgraded Bauhaus RC battery tray. What I'm instead going to do is I'm going to relocate this project box to back where that battery tray initially was. And what I'll do instead is run smaller lipos in this front mounted location. I'll probably jump on the Genze site and see what size packs they have there. I'm guessing I can find some 2200 milliamp or so 3S lipos that I'll probably be able to fit in there. So I'm going to mock up this project box back here in this rear section, and then I'm going to figure out how I'm going to mount it exactly a little bit down the road. I'll probably build some brackets to make a nice cradle for this that'll fit down in there, keeping it as low as possible but giving me full suspension articulation. At this time, I have removed the front and rear diff locking servos, got those out of the way. I've opened up the receiver box and started to clean up some of that. As we go, I'm going to try and keep looking at the wiring, seeing where I can make cuts, getting things more and more compact and condensed to clean this thing up. I'm gonna get back to mocking this up into the chassis so I can start running my air lines and getting everything initially plumbed. All right, here we go. I've got the control module wired into my new Futaba receiver, and I've got the battery plug changed on the ESC for now. So I'm going to plug this thing in and see what it does. So these remotes come taped up, and I'm guessing it's to. I'm guessing the batteries aren't inserted because there's information. Okay, there is no battery. All right, I guess I have to go get batteries. All right, just got back, ran up the street, grabbed two 2016 batteries, and I'm gonna get these things installed into the remote. Light works, the remote should be good. Let's plug this thing back in, give it a test. Let's hit the button on this remote, see if it does anything. Yep. I can hear it. All right, let's mount the wheels and tires back up, see what it does. I love it. We're just gonna tuck everything back inside the body, get a look at this thing with everything in place. This little kit is awesome. A fun project just out there. I'm not trying to be crazy serious. This is just something that's insanely fun. The first truck I've ever had with actual functioning air ride. When you hit the button, you hear the little compressor kick on in the box, just me kicking away in there. So much fun. It's just one of those gimmicky little things that I'm actually super stoked for. So here's the other thing. I think this is super cool and I really dig it. But what I wish is that I could actually get these tires lower and maybe even run a smaller tire and get them really close in there. But I'm limited by the factory shock mounting positions that are built into these shock towers. So what I'm wondering at this point is if I fabricate my own shock towers to lower this thing like another 1/2 inch. Bring the shocks up so that when it's slammed, these wheels are right into those wheel arches. And if I run a little bit smaller, more scale tire, in general, it might look real low-key streetable until you come in and hit the little button and raise this thing up in the air. So I still have a ton of work to do to get everything mounted in there permanently, make sure all the wires and all these new air lines are going to route well, and really get into the details of cleaning up the undercarriage of this. And now, after installing it, I'm really thinking about going even deeper on this project and building some fully custom upper shock mounts. If I'm gonna do it, what I wanna do is go in there and actually cut out the entire fender well area just around the shock mount itself and then build my own out of some 3/16 DOM tubing and some laser cut shock mounting tabs. I think that that could really set this thing off a little bit further, but definitely going to take more planning. I think what I want to do is go through this project, get everything lined up where it needs to be, and see how much closer I am to that, and if it's going to be something that's going to be easily achievable. For now, I think we're going to wrap up this video with the success of this functioning air ride. I'm going to keep playing with this remote, having fun, raising and lowering my Bronco here, and I will see you guys on the next one. Make sure to hit the like button if you enjoy these videos. Subscribe if you're not already. Hit the notification bell so you see these things as soon as they get uploaded. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you on the next one.